Your thoughts are the foundation of your reality. Every idea, every dream, every goal you pursue begins as a single thought, so powerful it can change the course of your life. But just as our minds are capable of generating dreams, they can also generate doubts. And it's in this internal battlefield between faith and fear that you have the power to take control. See, negative thinking is the great thief of potential. It tells you that you are not enough, that you cannot achieve your vision, that you lack what it takes to fulfill your purpose. But those are lies meant to keep you small, to keep you confined within the boundaries of comfort and complacency. Your mind can be the most beautiful garden, or it can be a prison. The choice is in your hands. The first step to breaking free from negative thoughts is to recognize that they don't define you. They are not your truth. When you allow negativity to dominate your thinking, you're allowing fear to govern your destiny, not your purpose. And understand this: purpose is the reason you exist. Purpose is that spark within you, that knowing deep down that you are called to do more, to be more, to give more. But to truly live in your purpose, you must be willing to silence the doubts and let go of every thought that limits you. Every outcome in life begins with a thought. Thoughts are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of the mind. When you think deeply about what this means, you realize that every action, every achievement, and every setback can be traced back to a thought pattern. Think of thoughts as the architects of your reality. They sketch the blueprint of the life you are building, even when you may not realize it. Our thoughts create the foundation upon which we build our beliefs, values, and ultimately our actions. And if your foundation is solid and supportive, your life structure will reflect that stability. Thoughts shape not only what we achieve, but also what we believe about ourselves. If you constantly think of yourself as limited, those thoughts form mental barriers, preventing you from fully engaging with opportunities. On the other hand, thoughts that affirm your value and potential strengthen your self-belief. This belief is essential for stepping into the life you want. People who live fulfilling lives often have a consistent mental narrative that reinforces their worthiness, ability, and purpose. They have intentionally chosen thoughts that empower rather than weaken. In this way, your self-concept is simply a reflection of what you've allowed yourself to think repeatedly. When you recognize that thoughts drive behavior, you start seeing the powerful connection between thought and action. Thoughts influence not only how we view ourselves, but also how we engage with the world around us. If you believe in abundance, you're more likely to act generously. If you believe in scarcity, you'll be driven to hold back, fearful of running out. Thoughts dictate the quality of our relationships, career choices, and life decisions because they drive the values behind each choice. A thought that you are deserving of a fulfilling career, for instance, leads to actions that prioritize growth and progress rather than settling. Consider the fact that our perceptions of reality are deeply filtered through our thinking. Two people can experience the exact same event but interpret it completely differently depending on their thoughts and beliefs. A failure can be seen as a devastating setback, or it can be viewed as a lesson that brings one closer to success. A challenging moment in life can be a reason to give up or an opportunity to grow stronger. Your mind assigns meaning, and that meaning determines whether you are paralyzed by challenges or propelled by them. Through thoughts, we shape not just our view of reality, but our response to it. Moreover, thoughts are not static, they are dynamic and adaptable, meaning you have the power to change them. By recognizing negative or limiting thoughts, you can consciously replace them with thoughts that align more closely with the life you wish to create. This process doesn't happen overnight. It's like cultivating a garden. Just as a gardener must pull out weeds to make room for flowers to grow, you must actively remove thoughts that no longer serve you and replace them with empowering ones. This takes dedication, but the result is a mindset that not only supports your goals but drives you toward them. Ultimately, the reality we experience every day is an expression of the thoughts we have most consistently nurtured. Thoughts are not just fleeting notions, they are creative forces that give shape and direction to every part of our lives. When you focus on thoughts of abundance, growth, and possibility, your life begins to reflect those qualities. You attract relationships, opportunities, and outcomes that align with this positive mental framework. By choosing to harness the power of your thoughts consciously, you begin to shape a reality that aligns with your highest vision for yourself. Negative thinking creates invisible chains around our potential, often long before we even attempt to achieve anything. When we allow negative thoughts to take root, they begin to shape a mindset that accepts limitations as if they were facts. This mindset doesn't just hold us back in small ways, it can ultimately define what we believe we are capable of achieving. When we think I can't or it's impossible, we are building mental walls that keep us from seeing the possibilities right in front of us. Negative thinking creates a prison of the mind, where self-doubt and fear become the guards that restrict us from exploring the full extent of our abilities. These limiting thoughts affect more than just our view of ourselves. They shape how we approach life's opportunities. When you constantly dwell on what could go wrong, or why you're likely to fail, you begin to approach each new experience with hesitation, expecting disappointment rather than possibility. This fear-driven approach leads to half-hearted efforts and a lack of resilience when faced with obstacles. Instead of embracing challenges as opportunities to grow, negative thinking convinces us to avoid them altogether. We become like a bird with clipped wings, grounded by our own beliefs rather than by any real-world barrier. Negative thinking doesn't only impact actions, it also creates a cycle of self-fulfilling prophecies. When you expect failure, you subconsciously begin to take actions or avoid taking actions that lead directly to that outcome. For instance, a person who doubts their ability to succeed in a new job may inadvertently hold back, not fully applying their skills or asking for the support they need. This hesitation can lead to underperformance, reinforcing the initial negative belief. Thus, negative thinking has a compounding effect. It not only limits what you attempt, but creates outcomes that further validate the negativity, trapping you in a cycle that's difficult to break. This mental cycle of negativity affects the energy you bring into relationships and environments. People can sense whether you believe in yourself or not, whether you are open to collaboration or closed off by self-doubt. When negative thinking dominates, it can isolate you from others who might otherwise support or encourage you. Potential mentors, colleagues, and even friends are more likely to invest in someone who believes in their own potential. A mind consumed with negative thinking often pushes people away, as it projects a lack of confidence that others may find hard to uplift or align with. Negative thinking also blinds us to our own strengths and achievements. It's common for those with negative thought patterns to dismiss their past successes as luck or coincidence, while exaggerating their failures as definitive proof of inadequacy. By focusing on shortcomings rather than strengths, negative thinkers prevent themselves from fully recognizing and utilizing their talents. When we downplay our capabilities, we miss out on the power of self-confidence, which is crucial to personal and professional growth. In ignoring the evidence of our worth, we end up hiding from the very skills and traits that could propel us towards success. Ultimately, a mindset dominated by negativity keeps us from dreaming big or even daring to try. Our greatest achievements often lie just beyond the boundaries of comfort, requiring courage to reach. But negative thinking restricts that courage, convincing us to play it safe, to settle for mediocrity rather than strive for greatness. It keeps us in a loop of limited thinking, where the fear of failure overshadows the excitement of possibility. When we allow negative thinking to define our limits, we sacrifice our potential for a life lived to the fullest, keeping us firmly rooted in a reality far smaller than the one we are truly capable of creating. Purpose is a force so powerful that it can transform how we view every obstacle, turning fear from a roadblock into a stepping stone. When we live with a strong sense of purpose, fear no longer has the same grip over us, because purpose gives us a reason to push through discomfort. It serves as a compass, pointing us toward what we're meant to do, even when the journey feels daunting. A sense of purpose doesn't necessarily eliminate fear, but it reframes it. Instead of allowing fear to dictate our actions, purpose empowers us to move forward despite it. With purpose guiding us, fear becomes a secondary concern, something to be managed rather than something that stops us in our tracks. Purpose also provides a deep sense of fulfillment that fear simply cannot offer. When we act out of purpose, we find meaning in our lives that fear on its own could never give us. Fear tends to shrink our world, making us hesitant to take risks or try new things. Purpose, on the other hand, expands our world by giving us a reason to grow, learn, and evolve. It fills us with the drive to contribute something meaningful, to impact the lives of others, and to leave a legacy. When you're pursuing a purpose that truly matters to you, the joy of fulfilling it far outweighs the discomfort that fear might cause. Purpose fills us with courage, giving us the strength to walk through fear because we see the reward on the other side. With purpose, our perspective shifts. What once seemed intimidating becomes merely a necessary step in fulfilling our mission. Fear may be an initial reaction to challenges, but purpose gives us the ability to look beyond the immediate difficulty and see the bigger picture. We start to see obstacles not as dead ends, but as opportunities to grow stronger and more resilient. Purpose gives us a reason to develop the skills and the character we need to overcome these challenges. This mental shift changes everything. We no longer see fear as something to avoid, but as a signal that we're moving towards something worthwhile. Purpose turns fear into a reminder that we are on the right path. A life driven by purpose brings clarity to our decisions, which naturally reduces the impact of fear. When you know what you want to achieve and why it matters, decision-making becomes easier, and fear has less room to thrive. Purpose gives us a filter through which we can view our choices and opportunities. Rather than getting stuck in indecision or second-guessing, we can ask ourselves, does this align with my purpose? When the answer is yes, it empowers us to take action boldly, even if fear is still present. With purpose as our guiding force, we're less likely to be swayed by doubt or hesitation. We make choices with confidence, knowing they align with the direction we're meant to go. Purpose also strengthens our resilience, helping us to endure setbacks that might otherwise be discouraging. Fear often makes challenges appear overwhelming, but purpose instills a resolve to keep going, no matter how difficult the journey. When you're driven by a goal that's bigger than yourself, you develop a kind of tenacity that fear cannot easily disrupt. Challenges become part of the process, something to be worked through rather than avoided. Purpose gives us the resilience to stand up after every fall, to learn from every setback, and to keep moving forward with the knowledge that we're building something meaningful. The more purpose fills our hearts, the more resilient we become in the face of fear. The first step to transforming negative thought patterns is to become fully aware of them. Negative thoughts often operate quietly, affecting our attitudes and behaviors without us even noticing. These thoughts can arise from past experiences, cultural conditioning, or simply our own insecurities. To challenge them, we need to identify them, paying attention to the moments when they creep in and recognizing the specific language they use. This awareness is key because you cannot change what you don't first acknowledge. When you begin to observe your own thoughts with clarity, you're taking the first step to break free from the hold they may have on you. Once you've identified a negative thought, the next step is to actively question its validity. Negative thoughts can be deceptive, presenting themselves as absolute truths when they're often far from reality. For example, a thought like "I'm not capable" may feel true in the moment, but when you step back and analyze it, you may realize it's based on a past failure or a single difficult experience. By questioning these thoughts, you give yourself the opportunity to view them objectively. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? Do I have any evidence to support it? Am I ignoring the successes I've had because of one setback? By challenging negative thoughts with reason, you begin to dismantle the irrational foundations they're built on. Replacing negative thoughts requires intentionality. After questioning and challenging a negative thought, it's essential to actively replace it with a more empowering one. This isn't about ignoring reality or pretending things are perfect. It's about choosing a perspective that supports growth and resilience. For instance, if you've been telling yourself, I always mess things up, try replacing it with, I'm learning and growing with every experience. This new thought reframes mistakes as part of a process rather than as evidence of failure. By consciously choosing more positive, constructive thoughts, you train your mind to adopt a healthier, more balanced perspective. The process of replacing negative thoughts also involves patience and consistency. Negative patterns of thinking are often deeply ingrained, developed over years of repeating similar thought loops. Changing these patterns isn't an overnight task, it's a journey that requires daily practice. Just as physical muscles strengthen with repeated exercise, our mental muscles grow stronger the more we practice replacing negativity with positive, empowering thoughts. There will be times when old patterns try to re-emerge, but each time you choose a new thought, you're reinforcing a new pathway in your brain, gradually creating a default mindset that uplifts rather than undermines you. Building a support system can be invaluable in this process. Surrounding yourself with positive, encouraging people can help reinforce the new thought patterns you're developing. When you're around others who believe in you, it becomes easier to believe in yourself. These people can offer encouragement, point out your strengths, and remind you of your achievements when your own thoughts might be clouded with doubt. Their support provides a mirror of positivity that can counterbalance any lingering negativity. It's much easier to stay committed to challenging and replacing negative thoughts when you have a community that reinforces your efforts and holds you accountable. Ultimately, the power to change your thoughts is one of the greatest tools you possess for personal transformation. As you consistently challenge and replace negativity with positive, constructive thoughts, you'll begin to see changes not only in your mindset, but in your actions, relationships, and overall life experience. You'll notice that opportunities become more visible, that self-doubt fades, and that you're more willing to take risks in pursuit of your goals. By learning to challenge and replace negative thoughts, you're reclaiming control over your mind and, by extension, over your life. This shift doesn't just influence how you feel, it shapes who you become, aligning your inner world with the person you aspire to be. The environment we immerse ourselves in has a profound impact on our mindset. And this begins with the people we choose to surround ourselves with. Positive people are like anchors for our mental well-being, lifting us up rather than pulling us down. When we're surrounded by encouraging and supportive individuals, we feel empowered to take on challenges and pursue our dreams. Positive people bring energy, optimism, and hope into our lives, often seeing the potential within us even when we struggle to see it ourselves. By consciously choosing relationships that reinforce positivity, we create a supportive network that helps us stay motivated, focused, and resilient. Positivity also extends beyond people to the spaces and things we interact with daily. Creating a positive environment might mean bringing order and beauty into our physical spaces, decluttering, adding uplifting elements like plants or artwork, and arranging things in a way that feels calm and inspiring. Our surroundings influence our thoughts and emotions more than we often realize. When our environment is peaceful and reflective of our aspirations, it naturally cultivates a positive mindset. Everything from the colors on our walls to the items on our desk can be intentionally chosen to support a productive and uplifting atmosphere. The content we consume has a direct impact on our mental state, so filling our minds with positive input is crucial. This means being mindful of the media we engage with, whether it's the news, social media, movies, or music. Constant exposure to negativity, criticism, or cynicism from these sources can drain our energy and skew our perspective on life. Choosing uplifting books, inspiring podcasts, and informative content helps us grow and keeps our minds focused on constructive ideas. When we consciously select media that educates, inspires, or entertains in positive ways, we're reinforcing a mindset of optimism and possibility. Engaging in activities that bring joy and satisfaction is another way to create a positivity-rich environment. Hobbies, creative pursuits, and physical activities are not just sources of enjoyment, but are also powerful ways to manage stress and build resilience. Doing things that make us feel accomplished, creative, or energized helps counterbalance any negative influences we may encounter. Whether it's painting, cooking, exercising, or volunteering, these activities serve as reminders of our abilities and strengths, fueling our confidence and enhancing our sense of self-worth. They keep us grounded, reminding us of the joy and fulfillment that exist beyond our daily challenges. Setting boundaries with negativity is essential to maintaining a positive environment. Not everyone will be a source of support or positivity, and sometimes we may need to limit our exposure to people or situations that drain our energy. Setting boundaries isn't about cutting people off entirely, it's about protecting our mental space so that we can maintain a positive outlook. This might mean limiting interactions with people who constantly complain or criticize, or managing how much time we spend in stressful environments. By establishing boundaries, we're making a choice to prioritize our well-being and keep our mental space clear of unnecessary negativity. Finally, cultivating positivity within ourselves is just as important as seeking it externally. Practicing gratitude, kindness, and self-compassion helps us to generate our own positivity, even when external conditions aren't ideal. Gratitude allows us to focus on what we have rather than what we lack, while kindness fosters a spirit of connection with others. Self-compassion gives us the grace to accept our imperfections and learn from our mistakes without harsh self-judgment. By actively practicing these qualities, we're not only creating a positive environment within, but also radiating positivity outward, attracting more of it into our lives. As we surround ourselves with positivity in these ways, we're not just shaping our mindset, we're creating a life that uplifts and supports our best self. Identity is the foundation upon which all of our beliefs, actions, and achievements are built. The way we see ourselves shapes the standards we set, the goals we pursue, and the risks we're willing to take. When we have a clear and confident sense of identity, we make decisions that align with our values and aspirations, enabling us to move towards success with purpose. On the other hand, a weak or confused sense of identity can leave us vulnerable to doubt, making it harder to stay committed to our path. Knowing who we are and what we stand for strengthens our resolve, providing a clear direction even when challenges arise. Our beliefs about ourselves are equally powerful, acting as the fuel that drives our actions and ambitions. If we believe that we're capable, resilient, and worthy of success, we approach life with confidence and determination. This belief in ourselves encourages us to take on challenges, knowing that we have what it takes to overcome them. Conversely, if we hold limiting beliefs such as thinking we're not smart enough or don't deserve success, these thoughts can act as invisible barriers, preventing us from even attempting to achieve our goals. Belief is a self-fulfilling prophecy. When we believe in our potential, we act in ways that make success possible. The alignment between our identity and our goals is critical to achieving success. When we pursue goals that resonate with who we truly are, we're more likely to stay committed and find fulfillment in the journey. Success is not just about reaching a destination, but about becoming the person capable of achieving it. This is why aligning our actions with our core identity and beliefs is essential. For instance, someone who identifies as a creative will find more satisfaction and success in pursuing creative goals rather than those imposed by external pressures. When our goals are a natural expression of our identity, we're able to pour our best energy and effort into achieving them. Identity and belief also drive the way we respond to failure and setbacks. When we see ourselves as resilient and capable, we view failures as temporary setbacks, not as definitive reflections of our worth. A strong belief in our identity allows us to recover quickly, learn from our mistakes, and try again with renewed determination. Those with a clear, positive identity don't internalize failure as a flaw in their character. Instead, they see it as part of the growth process. This mindset transforms challenges into opportunities, enabling them to push forward without allowing fear or self-doubt to hold them back. The people we look up to, the role models and mentors we choose, are often reflections of our beliefs and identity. We're naturally drawn to people who embody the qualities we aspire to develop within ourselves. These role models help reinforce our beliefs and inspire us to expand our vision of what's possible. By aligning ourselves with people who share our values and ambitions, we cultivate an environment that supports our growth. We become more open to new perspectives, gain valuable insights, and reinforce the belief that success is achievable. When our identity is rooted in self-belief, we attract and benefit from the influence of others who elevate us. Ultimately, our success is a direct reflection of the beliefs we hold about ourselves and the identity we choose to embrace. If we believe in our potential and commit to living in alignment with our values, our actions naturally follow suit. We begin to take proactive steps, seek out opportunities, and persevere through difficulties. Our identity and beliefs act as a guide, helping us make choices that bring us closer to our goals. When these internal forces are strong and positive, we become unstoppable, navigating the journey to success with clarity and conviction. As we cultivate a strong sense of who we are and what we're capable of, we unlock our true potential, creating a life that reflects our highest vision for ourselves.